Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. Oh, what a difference a day makes. I'm going to say that right now, the Ukrainian regime they're spastic. They are terrified. They are thrashing around wildly since the IAEA inspectors went to the nuclear plant yesterday. So let me go right to that. Okay? And so first off, all right, the physical integrity of the Zaporozhye nuclear plant violated several times. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, this man is the leading nuclear physicist in the freaking world. And he went into a war zone to objectively examine, inspect this plant. All right, so Rafael Grossi has confirmed that damage has been done to the Russian-held Zaporozhye nuclear plant in Ukraine, but refrained from naming the guilty party. It is obvious that the physical integrity of the plant has been violated several times. By chance or by deliberation, we don't have the elements to assess that, but this is the reality that we have to recognize, Grossi told reporters after returning to the Ukrainian-controlled territory on Friday. Grossi acknowledged that the security situation at the plant was difficult during his visit. There were moments where fire was obvious. Heavy machine gun, artillery, mortars, he said, adding that on 1, 2, or 3 occasions things got very concerning for the UN team. Zaporozhye nuclear plant has been under Russian control since March, but has continued to be operated by the Ukrainian staff. The IAEA chief has praised the incredible degree of professionalism of those employees, saying that he saw them calm and moving. And yes, those engineers, those nuclear engineers, really have to be recognized and praised for being able to function in these conditions. I don't care what their nationality is. You have to recognize that they are really commendable. But what this one statement says is that this plant was under attack while the inspectors were there. All right, so next, here we go. Ukraine admits bombing nuclear plant area. They're admitting it now. The Ukrainian military publicly admitted striking the area of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant in an official general staff briefing on Friday. Previously, Kiev had claimed that Russian forces used the plant as a military base. Now it says all troops have relocated due to the visit by IAEA inspectors. The military also claimed that due to the arrival of the IAEA inspection team, the Russian occupiers removed all military equipment from the territory of the nuclear power plant. About 100 units moved to the plant, and the rest were dispersed in the nearest settlements. I already covered this. You don't move heavy artillery and tanks and stuff like this into and out of an area without leaving evidence. That stuff is so heavy, it tears up the ground. It tears up the pavement. You cannot hide this. I can walk into an area and tell you if that equipment has been there. Here's a new one. UN nuclear watchdog should be mistrusted by default. Zelensky aid. International organizations, including the IAEA, are cowardly and cannot be trusted. A senior aide to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has said, "Let me remind you that the IAEA inspection team came in through Kiev to get to the plant and had Ukrainian drivers taking them there." All right. I don't like international institutions and mediation missions in general. In other words, they don't want anyone to be objective. They look extremely ineffective, extremely cowardly, and extremely unprofessional, Mikhail Podolyak said in an interview on Thursday evening. This applies not only to the IAEA, but also to the UN, Amnesty International, and the International Committee of the Red Cross, the Ukrainian official claimed, adding, "By default, you should not trust them." Podolyak's remarks came as he criticized the IAEA mission to the nuclear power plant, which arrived earlier in the day. He expressed his low expectations for the missions based on the positive remarks that Director General Rafael Grossi made after touring the facility in Ukraine. The Ukrainian official said he was willing to give the inspectors the benefit of the doubt and wait for them to make an official report that would show the depth of their inner destruction. He explained his concerns, citing several aspects of Grossi's visit. They include its relatively short duration. They're establishing a permanent presence at the plant, which Podolyak assessed was too short for a proper fact-finding mission. He also criticized the willingness of the IAEA chief to talk to a representative of the Russian atomic energy body Rosatom, who Podolyak said delivered a strange long speech to the UN official. In other words, he doesn't want the top nuclear scientist in the world to talk to both sides of this issue. He only wants them to talk to Ukrainians. All right. The experts arrived at the station from Kiev despite continued military action in its facility. Kiev, Moscow. All right. They've accused each other. All right. Some members of the mission stayed behind to monitor the situation while Grossi and others left. They're still inspecting. They're still there. And keeping an eye on it. All right. So Podolyak said the IAEA should blame Russia for attacks on the plant. And if their report fails to do so, only stating that inspectors witnessed evidence of strikes, his opinion about the organization will be vindicated. President Vladimir Zelensky, too, has expressed skepticism about the IAEA visit to the nuclear power plant. In a video statement on Thursday evening, he accused Grossi of failing to secure access to the station to independent journalists who wanted to visit with the inspectors. I pointed out before that Zelensky has already seized all of the media in Ukraine. It is all state media. There is no such thing as, independent journalism in Ukraine. If you say anything negative about the regime, you will be arrested, tortured, and imprisoned indefinitely for who knows how long. You don't know. So, I mean, this is insane. This is truly insane. All right, unrelated to that, but highly important. Nordstream gas supply to EU stopped indefinitely. The Russian energy giant Gazprom announced on Friday the suspension of natural gas supplies to the EU via the Nordstream 1 pipeline for an indefinite period due to technical malfunctions. The pipeline was supposed to restart on September 3rd following repairs to its sole operating turbine. According to the company, it received a warning from Russia's industrial regulator about the turbine failure. The problems were reportedly detected during scheduled maintenance work, and the pipeline would not be able to operate without proper repairs. The Russian firm has informed German manufacturer Siemens about the turbine failure and the need for an overhaul. So, I mean, right now, if the turbine is failing, if they allow it to continue to operate, then, and it just freezes up, breaks apart on its own, goes into complete failure, then who knows what kind of damage it can do. I don't know enough about that to say, but I know mechanical equipment, and you sure as hell want to stop it from failing when it already shows signs that it's going to. It's just like your car. You want to get it fixed before it becomes critical. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot worse. Anyway, so meanwhile, the newly built Nord Stream 2 pipeline stands idle as Germany has refused to certify it for operation. So, German industries are already shutting down. They can't produce toilet paper. They're not able to produce cars. There are a lot of industries. I don't know how many or how much, but entire German industries are shutting down because they don't have enough gas to continue operations. They have to conserve gas because winter is coming. They have to be able to heat people's homes. There's nothing else you can do about this. This is not a choice. They have a choice. They can certify Nord Stream 2. They can have Siemens go in there, lift the sanctions on these things, and have Nord Stream 1 completely renovated so that it will operate at 100% capacity. It's only been operating at 20% capacity for several months now. What are you expecting if you don't lift the sanctions so that these things can be repaired, or that you give yourself an alternative? This is what, and right now they've been building up their gas reserves, but who knows? And winter is coming globally. It's not just there. So even if they usually keep a reserve, but they're going through the reserve at the same time that they are importing gas. If everyone is competing for a limited amount of fuel, the prices go up. And right now, because of this, you can count on the fact that, all of Europe is going to be worse off. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. And we will feel it here in America. We're going to. We're already feeling it. All right. Let's wait and see what happens from here. It is my absolute hope that the findings of those inspectors are going to change a huge amount of the perspective, the Western perspective on the Ukrainian regime, because those soldiers did not go in there and attack that plant without being ordered. And think about that. How insane do the soldiers have to be to follow those orders? Because if they actually hit the plant, who's the first ones that are going to be hit with radiation poisoning? How crazy is that? All right, share this video. Talk about these subjects far and wide. If you can, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.